Hello, welcome back to SoulSchool. I'm Theolyn Cortens, and in this series I'm talking about the laws of creation. And this is law number 5, which is the law of guidance. So far, we've talked about the law of divine contract, the law of divine investment, the law of divine mystery. And then, because we were coming into the material world, the word divine disappears from the title of the law, and we had law number 4, the law of regulation, and now we have the law of guidance. Now, in the law of regulation, I mentioned the myth of Jason and the Argonauts, and how Jason, in order to sail across the Mediterranean Sea, has to build a boat. Of course, anyone building a boat will have to get their tape measure out or their yardstick, and they have to gather the wood that they need and work out the whole structure. So that was very much a topic for the law of regulation. Regulation comes from a Latin word meaning to measure. Now, the next thing that Jason does when he's got the boat constructed, he wants to include at the prow a pole. And this is like, we could call it his talking stick, except that it's much bigger than a stick. It is actually part of an oak tree, so it's, we can imagine, quite sizable. And he got this oak from a sacred grove where the trees were all dedicated to the great god Zeus. So it would be a really good sacred wood if you wanted something to talk to. Right. And who's he going to talk to? Well, he wants to use this big pole at the front of his ship as a place where he can go and talk to the goddess Hera. And she's overseeing his journey, and he knows that he can get the wisdom he needs to solve any problems they have on their journey by going to talk to Hera. So she's providing the guidance. He's a human person, she's a goddess, but by having this talking tree on his boat, he can communicate with the divine. So the law of guidance is telling us that we can find a way to communicate with the divine. We can have something in our lives that we choose as suitable for our needs, and we can use it as a ritualistic process to get what we need to know. We could use I Ching, we could use tarot cards or other oracle cards like the angel script, for example. We could use astrology, and leading on from astrology, we could use the Sabian symbols. By the way, I recommend sabiansymbols.com. So you can choose some system that you enjoy. Might be dowsing. You can also rely on dreams to write a question on a piece of paper and put it under your pillow. You can also go into meditation with a question in mind. And it is the case that many people, under difficult circumstances, where they couldn't see the answer to the problem, whether they were on a journey or that they're creating something, or whether they were researching something scientifically, and they didn't quite know how to make a breakthrough, and then something will happen. And dreams are often quoted as a resource. Even in the scientific community, there have been breakthroughs because of people's dreams. So the guidance law is telling us that even though we've descended, so to speak, into a material, three-dimensional reality, we still have a window to get information from that divine place that we once dwelt in. So that's what the law of divine guidance is. And Jason has to make great use of it on his journey, because he comes across all kinds of tricky things. He comes across clashing rocks. There's a limitation if ever you came across one. You can't sail through the clashing rocks because they're going to clash, boom, like that, and turn your beautiful ship into matchsticks. So that's something he has to ask Hera how to deal with. So in your life, if you've got to the point when you're trying to take the next step with your dream, your vision, and you feel stuck because the laws of that you come across with the bank manager or the time that you've got in order to do, maybe you want to write a book and you've got to go to work all day and you've got no time. If you go to the resource that's offered to you by the law of guidance, you can invariably make a breakthrough. So if you're interested in my classes about the 10 laws, make sure to email me, Theolyn@theolyn.com, and I'll send you a full syllabus. If you come across this and we've already started the class or you miss out on it, you can still email me and I'll let you know when there's another class coming along. Many blessings, and see you again soon.